Magandang hapon, good morning to everybody. If this is your first day, thank you and welcome. But if this is your second day, I hope you feel as rejuvenated and refreshed and re-energized as everyone has felt after yesterday's series of events, and of course, last night's Seed Talks. So thank you again for joining us this morning. We have a great lineup of speakers, and we have a wonderful group of people who are going to be able to share with you some of our information. To recap yesterday, the emphasis was on sustainability then. And I think what many people came away with is that there is definitely a regeneration, there is a reverberation and revival of interest in things physical, in things tactile, in things emotional, in things cultural, that really are bringing us to a time where much connectedness is being sought by a number of parts of our community. And so I urge you to continue to listen, to continue to learn, to share. If you have any information or questions, please make sure you raise them with us so that we can continue this really great conversation that has started. Again, I'd like to thank the Hyatt and their group of staffers, certainly Chef Markle, who has been so innovative in the various fresh farm-to-table food that he's been giving to us and assuring that we are nurtured. And of course, the Center for Island Sustainability and their team members who have been working nonstop to assure that we have a really thought-provoking series of breakout sessions and speakers. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to honor some of our co-sponsors who believe in the Center for Island Sustainability, and we'll share with you some of what they're doing with regard to sustainable actions now. If I can ask these individuals to come to the stage, I would be so grateful. The first person I'd like to invite is Joaquin Cook. Kin is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Bank of Guam. Kin. I'd also like to call to the stage Dr. Terry Donaldson, the Principal Investigator and Project Director for the Guam EPSCoR. Dr. Romina King, University of Guam Program Director, Pacific Islands Climate Adaptation Science Center. Dr. King. And Fran Castro, Program Leader, University of Guam Ski Grant Program. What we're going to do in this order is to have our speakers tell everyone a little bit about what they're doing in their own areas of business and in the schools, and what they're doing to advocate for sustainability. Kin.
It works. All right, thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Good morning, everyone. And I just want to congratulate the team for their successful sustainability conference. I guess it's the 10th one. It's my first day and my first time being here. So it's good to be here. Good to see all the people who are energized and excited about this topic. Bank of Guam, we've been around for 47 years now. And we were founded on the belief and the value of giving back and helping grow our community. We're founded on those values, and we continue to do that to this day. We've played a big role in education. We've helped UOG grow, GCC, as well as healthcare in our communities through the hospital and other initiatives. And most importantly, from a bank's perspective, we are really excited about financial health. We've sponsored the Teach Children to Save, Get Smart About Credit Days for Guam's youth. We host a live teen expo. We've had 2 of them so far in Guam, and we're looking at doing one in Saipan possibly later this year. And more recently, what we've done from a corporate standpoint, last year during our annual executive leadership retreat, we've actually adopted corporate sustainability, corporate social responsibility as a corporate initiative. And that, I'm proud to say, has been spearheaded by our own Jackie Marati. So what does that mean for us as an organization? I feel we don't have the right yet to call ourselves a sustainable company yet, but we're working there. We've had trainings with all of our managers, over 100 managers from Guam, as well as our island regions, as well as San Francisco. And these managers have come up with a ton of different pilot programs that they are going to start to implement to promote corporate social responsibility. And they range from environmental related initiatives to in-house initiatives to reduce paper, improve efficiencies, and just make, hopefully, our lives and our societies that much better. So to that is kind of what we're doing. There's a lot more. If you guys would like to speak, if there's any business people in here who find out what we're doing so they could kind of build on and keep this flywheel spinning and get the momentum going, I'd be happy to share. Personally, I think it's important that we all do little things to help the environment be a little bit better. That can be as little as, taking reusable plates or products. When you go to, I talked to a girl or I've seen people, I also part owner of a restaurant here on island, and I've seen people in there dining and they bring their own Tupperware or Pyrex when they eat to take things to go, and I think that's great. I mean, I'm impressed that they have the discipline and the awareness to bring those. Those people are on a whole nother level. But even small things, using your Hydro Flask instead of buying water bottles, things like that. So from a personal perspective, me and my family are doing those types of things. From a corporate perspective, I challenge anyone here who's in the corporate world to come up with some similar programs. Adopt corporate social responsibility as part of your corporate lifestyle. And I think if we all do that, we all work together, we'll make the world a much better place. So that's all I have to say about what we're doing. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks, Ken. I think what's so important, particularly coming from the private sector, is when you have the direct support of the Chief Executive Officer. And I think everything that we've ever read about, that without that support, corporate social responsibility as a guiding theme is not able to be successful, because the key person is always going to be our leader at the top. So again, thank you, Ken, for your leadership in spearheading corporate social responsibility as a strategic initiative and allowing us to move forward. So we thank you. The second person I'd like to introduce is Dr. Terry Donaldson. Dr. Donaldson?
There we go. Cheers, man. Thanks. Good morning, everybody. Half a day. I'm also a professor of ichthyology at the University of Guam Marine Laboratory, and I, like some of the other members of our faculty, have a very long history with Guam. I did my master's degree at the Marine Laboratory back when Cousteau was a boy. And I've been coming back doing some of my doctoral work here, some of my other work as a research affiliate until I finally joined the faculty. And then for my sins, they made me a director. And then I've been privileged for the last almost probably over 4 years, because the clock starts before you get the money. I've been privileged to be able to lead Guam EPSCoR. Now, what's an EPSCoR? EPSCoR stands for the Established Program to Stimulate Competitive Research. It used to be the experimental program, but it's working, so it's established now. And what EPSCoR does is it's a number of programs that are spread out in various government agencies. The National Science Foundation is where we have most of our support from, but it's a little known fact that Guam is also a NASA EPSCoR institution. And the Department of Defense has now a functional EPSCoR program, so we'll be tapping into that too. But what we do with the National Science Foundation EPSCoR program is we've received $6 million some time back. Sounds like a lot of money, but it goes quickly. What we do with that money is hire people to conduct research projects relevant to our particular mission, which is addressing climate change effects on coral reef systems, and also to document the biodiversity, marine biodiversity that we have in Guam's waters and in waters within the region. Now, the Marine Laboratory is almost 50 years old. In 2020, I think there'll probably be something to celebrate that at this particular meeting. They've been documenting marine biodiversity for a long time here, but the efforts have sort of been piecemeal. And what NSF wants us to do is to bring our collections and our knowledge of biodiversity into the 21st century, and that involves a lot of digitization, imaging, databasing that allows you, if you're sitting in an office in a marine laboratory in Jamaica, like one of my esteemed colleagues out here, Dr. Weber is, allows you to go online and see what we've got in our research collections here, and that might help you solve a problem that you have wherever you were working. So that's one of the outcomes we'll have from this. More importantly, we'll have an understanding about how coral reefs and corals in particular can bounce back from the effects of temperature rise, ocean acidification, and sedimentation, the three evil things that are working along with water pollution in general to degrade our reefs. And we all, of course, depend upon our reefs for so many things. I mean, I'd be preaching to the choir. You've been hearing about this the last few days. Anyway, what we're doing is trying to understand the genetic basis for how corals and other organisms can respond. And this will help us to develop scientific solutions, hopefully, that we can inform natural resource managers about what avenues they might take to help mitigate and offset the effects of climate change, all right? And to essentially allow us to predict what reefs may look like in the future and help us adapt to that. We're also big on cyber infrastructure development. I won't go into details, except we're a lot faster than we used to be. And we're promoting STEM and workforce development and other programs that make Guam a stronger jurisdiction within the United States and makes us very, very competitive for further research funds, as EPSCoR wants us to be, so that we can go out and solve problems and be the leaders, or even greater leaders within the region. So this is a great conference. I've been coming to it for a number of years, and I'm happy to see everybody here. And thank you, and as my Japanese colleagues say, do good work. And I know you all will. Thank you.
Thank you, Donaldson. Thank you, Dr. Donaldson. I think you really identified an area that we talked about yesterday, and that was, islands are living labs. And because of our size, we often say, oh, Guam is so small, but because Guam is small, we're able to realize a lot of learning opportunities, because when we get hurt really hard. But when we're able to bounce back, we can bounce back much quicker than larger states and nations and stuff. So being that living lab is an important and positive characteristic of doing work and doing the kind of work you do here. So thank you. Dr. Romina King. Hi.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Okay. Half a day. Maganda umaga. Okay. So the Pacific Islands Climate Adaptation Science Center, or PI-CASC. We're competing with EPSCoR for acronyms. We are so proud to support the good work of the Center for Island Sustainability. Our mission as PI-CASC is to co-produce science with the local community to help fish, wildlife, water, land, and people adapt to a changing climate. Climate change is already affecting the lives of people all over the world. Even if we zero out greenhouse gas emissions today, we're still going to feel the impact of climate change. And our island communities are going to adapt to this new reality, and we want to help them the best way we can. So sustainability and adaptation go hand in hand. The legacy and the story of the initial exploration and settlement of the Pacific using traditional navigation, no GPS, no radar, no cell phones, is one of adaptation and sustainability and survival. They persisted. It's one of the greatest feats in human history, and we should be really proud to celebrate it. And it was great seeing Master Navigator Larry yesterday, speaking of that. Striving for sustainability means to respect and to support local communities. It means really, really listening to the needs and priorities of natural resource managers. It means empowering those natural and community leaders to co-produce science and generate useful and meaningful data so that informed decisions can be made, and those decisions can minimize the human stresses on our ecosystems, so those ecosystems have every fighting chance to weather the impacts of climate change. So at PI-CASC, what have we done, right? So we have supported people like Mel Bloss, who is a dedicated school teacher, to create location-based, culturally sensitive lesson plans so that she can teach and educate her students, future leaders of Guam. We supported a business resilience workshop where we had the Bank of Guam chief economist speak about the impacts of climate change to small businesses. And we wanted to link our small businesses and budding entrepreneurs from Guam and Saipan to some of the tools that they may have been unaware of that they could use to recover faster and better from adverse weather conditions and typhoons. We are also supporting a vulnerability assessment of the coastal built infrastructure for the island of Guam as requested by the government of Guam. What are we going to be doing in the future? We are going to be supporting more natural resource management agencies. We're going to be supporting Christine Camacho Ferrin from the Department of Ag. You might see her on TV. She fights fires. And she is going to pursue her master's at the University of Guam, looking at a research question that is essential to her work at the Department of Ag. We're also going to be supporting Patrick Keeler, a watershed coordinator from the Bureau of Statistics and Plans. He's going to be looking at coastal flooding on some of our eroded shores and examine some potential solutions of living shorelines. So this is just a really small glimpse of some of the things that we've done and some of the plans that we do. And we hope to continue more. And there's no way that it's just me doing this. I really have an amazing network, consortium of other universities that I'm with. The University of Hawaii in Manoa, Darren Lerner, University of Hawaii at Hilo, Sharon Ziegler-Chong, and great support from our federal Pacific Island, our Climate Adaptation Science Center, the national one. She left today, but I gave her a shout out. So, Janet, yes, yeah, I knew that. I'm so nervous. But basically, we are so in this together, and we just want to congratulate Austin and the Center for Island Sustainability for 10 years of promoting and crafting the vision of sustainability as it means to Guam and our sister islands.
Thank you very much, Dr. King. You remind us of a conversation we had earlier today with Amanda and Kin, and that had to do with the many pockets of energy and learning and sharing and volunteering. It's all over our region, and the really critical thing is to consolidate, to strengthen, to move forward with all those different areas so that the duplication is reduced, but more importantly, there is a larger and stronger voice when it comes to the needs of the Pacific Islands. So thank you again, Dr. King. Fran. Fran Castro.
Hi, so I started Sea Grant about a year ago, and before that I was retired. And then Austin, he's really good at getting what he wants. And he's like, come on, Fran, I need your help. Come work for Sea Grant. And so after a few phone calls and some meetings, finally agreed to come and work with him. And we used to work together a long time ago when he was still an intern for the All Islands Committee, which I chaired for the U.S. Coral Reef Task Force. So I'm glad to be working with him now, and I'm so proud of all the things that he's done for Guam and for the communities here. And so, and I'm proud to be here at Sea Grant. Has anybody heard of Sea Grant? Like, yeah? Okay, great, because that means that we're getting the word out and we're doing a good job. And so we're one of 33 programs in the nation through the U.S. and Hawaii and Alaska. And we are a coherent area program, and we hope to be growing really soon. We are out of the University of Guam under the direction of Austin, and we are a team of 7, very small team, very small budget. We're located on Dean Circle, and I'm going to start with our office because there's a lot of sustainability happening in that office and coming out of that office. And so it's an energy demonstration house, and we moved in there like about a year ago today. And GPA, Guam Power Authority, donated all the appliances for the office, so that's why it's a demonstration house. Yay, GPA. And so they donated air cons and refrigerators, light fixtures, and all of that, and they were monitoring our energy usage of the office. And then earlier this year, they reported that they realized $5,000 in savings per year just for the Sea Grant office. So we're doing good. A lot other sustainable actions that we do in our office is we recycle, thanks to Phil Cruz. He set up our recycling station there in the office. We also minimize a lot of usage of paper. We do everything electronically, like if we need purchase orders or payments or things like that. Everything is through electronic means, and so we try not to print paper. We conduct a lot of outreach on how to be sustainable, from bagging people's groceries. When the plastic bag ban was signed into law, Austin the very next day went to, or was it the same day? I think the very next day, went out to Payless supermarkets and got all our reusable bags, and they were bagging people's groceries to try to, educate them about, the new law. And so we were getting ahead there. We visit a lot of schools. We launch straw campaigns. We coordinate workshops. We just coordinated the All Planners workshop just this past Monday, and it was very well attended and very successful, and it was targeted, the target was climate change, and Romina did a great participatory mapping session to help complete Guam's vulnerability assessment. So that was good. So we do a lot for having a very small budget and a small staff. And when I say we, I think in terms of outreach, I just want to recognize Phil Cruz, because he's done a lot of outreach, and he's at every fair and festival here on Guam. So he's an extension associate at Sea Grant, and I really appreciate all the work that you do and all the other team, the staff members at Sea Grant. We also engage in watershed restoration work in southern Guam, and this was made possible through a USDA grant to use innovative methods for planting in hard-to-reach areas. So I think you saw Austin's presentation yesterday. We'll be using like the drones to do planting. We also do a lot of work with the Navy doing turtle monitoring. Cefa, as Phil had mentioned, did a talk last night. Fabulous work that we're doing with the Navy. We're updating all their outreach materials as well, and we're about to launch an aerial survey, turtle monitoring as well, and marine mammals. Next week, we'll be launching a competitive research proposal for faculty and nonprofits, which will be open to Guam, CNMI, and the Micronesia region. So this is something that we need to do to grow the program. And our program is growing, because when I started a year ago, we had no office. A few months later, we got an office, and then 7 months later, the Marine Lab turned over the Science Learning Center to Sea Grant, which we are now fixing it up to make it available for tours, for school tours, public tours, as requested. And then just earlier this year, we got another 3/4 of an office. So yeah, we're growing. We're not only expanding in offices, but you probably heard Austin yesterday say that we had a $100,000 increase in our budget just to do the competitive research RFPs that will be launched next week. And in the next couple years, we'll be focusing on moving up in the sea grant world to become an institutional level program, which means that we will probably need to hire more people, do more research, and do more education and outreach. And that's what we do at Sea Grant.
Thank you very much, Fran. I'd like to call Phil and Austin to the stage, but also I have an opportunity to introduce some of our senators who have been attending many of our sessions quite religiously. Senator Clinton Ridgell, I gave you a promotion. Senator Mary Torres, Senator Amanda Shelton, and Senator Regine Disco-Lee.
All right, so we would like to present these wooden plaques that are actually made from reclaimed wood. And these pieces of wood are actually from shipping crates that were shipped to Guam. And we'd like to present these to you as our gratitude of appreciation for your sponsorship and your support for our conference and for all of the work that we do. And we appreciate all of the collaborative efforts that we've had in the past and in the future. Sidus Masi.